Anthropology of Security, the Last Days of 2023 Dublin City Centre. When I first planned out this project, the state of Dublin City Centre was a very different place. On the 23rd of November, the Dublin riots shook the country. The riot occurred after a knife attack in the city centre, rumoured to have been carried out by an immigrant, attacked 3 young children and their care assistant outside a primary school. The riot started out as an anti-immigrant protest but quickly escalated with buses being set alight and shops being looted, causing great destruction to the north side of the city. A month on, with the Irish public not happy with the Justice Minister Helen McAtee's reaction to the violence, they called for her resignation. I took a trip to the city centre to document the security put in place to ease the worries of the public and tourists in the city over the festive period. I spent the majority of my time around the tourist hotspots, and I avoided going places simply for the reason they might have security. I stood in the locations for 30 seconds and observed the security measures around me. When I could see the Irish police force on Garda Síochána, I would take out my camera. This only happened on 3 occasions, one of which I was not able to catch. There were 2 Gardaí on foot at the end of Henry Street, watching over Mary Street. The 2 patrol vans were the only public protection that I was aware of. Shops, bars and restaurants have hired private security which stand in sight of customers. It's important for me to note my concerns for my own safety while filming this project and spending time in the city centre. I brought along 2 friends with me, and I don't think I would have been able to film the later clips, especially the ones in Temple Bar, without them being with me. Even after filming the 3 p.m. clip, we noticed a group of young teenage boys sparring in the open square. We were put on edge by this, especially as we were 3 young women. When we were leaving, we had extra precautions put in place to ensure our safety. I was travelling home on a different bus from a different stop to the others. They walked me to my stop and stayed with me for as long as they could before heading to their own stop. We shared our live locations with each other and exchanged promises of letting each other know once we arrived home safe. After filming, as I was writing down my notes on how to narrate what I had seen in the city centre, an incident occurred. At 10:45 on the 15 route headed towards Clongriffin, the bus was forced to brake heavily, causing a man to fall over and hit his head. The bus was forced to brake heavily, causing a man to fall over and hit his head on the ground as he slid across the floor towards the bus driver. The bus stayed stopped as the man recovered. He had a backpack and a paper bag with him. The bus driver asked if the man was okay while a young woman helped him to his feet. As he fell, he dropped his belongings, including his phone. The younger woman picks up his things, and while talking to him, she opened his bag and put his belongings into the bag. An older woman sitting down raises her voice and questions the young woman on if the phone remaining in her hand is in fact hers. The young woman is shocked at the accusations of theft and is forced to explain her actions. People on the bus watch on in silence as she explains the lock screen in the phone, and the person texting her is her sister and it says her name. The older woman continues to raise her voice and shout accusations that she doesn't believe the younger woman. The younger woman becomes upset and calls out, asking if anyone on the bus will stand up for her. You can hear the fear in her voice. One person sat in the centre of the back of the bus calls out to her asking if she's okay and that they had seen everything, and that the older woman had been proved wrong and should back down. The older woman reacts to this and points her aggression towards the person at the back, saying they should sit back down and mind their own business. The back and forth continues until the bus reaches the older woman's stop and she exits the bus. As the bus continues and other passengers get off, the young woman remains stood by the door with the man who has fallen and the person who defended her. Passengers stop and ask if she's okay. They apologise for not speaking up as she continues off the bus. Throughout the commotion, there is no word from the bus driver, the only person with any real authority over the passengers. Everyone in the scenario was white and seemingly Irish. I state this because I wonder if the reaction of the other passengers and bus driver would have been different if the accused had been an immigrant or non-Irish national giving the protest earlier in the month.